welcome to the March 2026 edition of Inside Kensington Gymnastics, and welcome from Kensington, the heart of KCGA. This is our monthly update from Kensington Chelsea Gymnastics Academy, created for families across Kensington, Chelsea and Knightsbridge, and for those following our work across West London, Central London and wider London gymnastics community. There is something distinctive about this time of the year here in the Academy, and by March, the early term reset is behind us. Children are more settled, class routines, they feel more natural, and across our venues in Kensington, in Chelsea and in Knightsbridge, the quiet work of the earlier months is beginning to show itself more clearly. So, in this update, I'd like to share what March has looked like across our KCGA community here in London. I would like to reflect on the kind of progress we value, and I would like to also look ahead to one of the highlights at the end of this spring term. March has been a month of visible momentum across Kensington Gymnastics, Chelsea Gymnastics and Knightsbridge Gymnastics. Early in the year, much of our focus was on rebuilding rhythm, revising shapes and re-establishing the habits that support good gymnastics. This month, across many of our classes, we've started to see those foundations becoming more fluent. Rather than simply practicing individual elements in isolation, children are beginning to connect movements with more control, more awareness, and more confidence. You will notice in this footage that the progress is not really about doing everything faster. It's about doing familiar things better. So that involves cleaner shapes, steadier landings, stronger takeoffs, and better listening, more confidence moving from one task to another. And to be honest, this kind of progress matters. It tells us that routines are settling, trust is building, and children are beginning to see the foundations they've been developing rather than just rehearsing them. Across our Kensington venue, our Chelsea venue and our Knightsbridge venue, this is the kind of progress we value the most. Well-supported development that gives children confidence without rushing the process. And for families looking for children's gymnastics in Kensington and Chelsea, this is very much what our coaching model is built around. Long-term development, thoughtful progression, and real consistency from week to week. March is also an important point in the term from a coaching perspective. By this stage, children know their coaches better. Group routines feel familiar, and confidence often starts to rise naturally. And that is exactly why calm structure matters so much. At KCGA across Kensington, Chelsea and Knightsbridge, we want children to feel secure as well as challenged. As confidence grows, so does our responsibility to keep progress well supervised and appropriate for the individual child. In practice, that means clear routines, careful spotting, thoughtful progression, and coaching that stays attentive to how each child is responding. So not just to what skills come next. long-term progress in gymnastics is never built on excitement alone. It is built on trust, consistency, and environments when children feel safe enough to keep trying. And in a city like London, where family life can be busy and fast-moving all the time, I think that matters even more. Children benefit from having one place each week that feels structured, familiar, and calmly led. And that is something we work hard to protect across the whole KCGA community. An important principle that I come back often at this point of the year is the developmental stage of everything. In children's gymnastics, progress is strongest when challenge and readiness stay in balance. So if a child is pushed too quickly, movement quality often drops and confidence can become fragile. But when the right challenge arrives at the right time, then progress often looks natural, even though it has usually been prepared over many weeks. And that's what we're looking for here, to make this progress natural. That is one of the reasons a spring can be such a rewarding part of the year in the gym. And you can see the earlier work throughout the year begins to show itself. Not because children have been rushed forward, but because they have been giving enough time, enough repetition, and support for good habits to settle. For families here in Kensington, Chelsea, and across West London, that is often an important thing to understand. Good gymnastics coaching, my friends, is rarely about rushing children ahead. It is about creating the right environment for quality progress to appear at the right time. Alongside what happens in the gym, we've also continued building the KCGA Academy on the website. This is our powerful educational hub, our growing library of trusted parent guides for London families. Part of that work is helping parents better understand children's physical development in particular terms. So that includes how gymnastics can support posture, body awareness, movement quality, and confidence more broadly. So for parents searching online for gymnastics in Kensington, gymnastics in Chelsea, or clearer guidance across children's physical development in London, this is becoming an increasingly important extension of what we do. The aim is always the same: to give families clear, useful guidance that complements coaching and helps them make calm, informed decisions around their children's development. A quick note as well, the March 2026 KCGA newsletter is now available on the website. As with every issue, it brings together the month's key highlights in written form alongside practical reminders and a wider view of what's happening across the academy. For busy families in Kensington, Chelsea, Knightsbridge, and across central London, it's a simple way to stay connected to KCGA, even when the month moves quickly. And over time, it also becomes a record of the year, something families can look back and feel proud of. March has also been an important month for Kensington Gymnastics magazine. Issue 2 marks another steady step in what is becoming meaningful long-term project for the Academy. What matters to me about the magazine is not simply that it exists, but what it represents. It is a serious, evidence-led resource for families who want to understand children's gymnastics, coaching quality, and physical development more deeply. And I think that matters especially in London, here, the greatest city on earth, where families are often looking for trusted information, not just more noise. It is designed to be evidence-based. It is designed to be useful rather than promotional. And I'm pleased to see it continuing to make shape with consistency. Looking ahead, one of the highlights at the end of March will be the KCGA Easter Week, which will take place during the week of 23rd to 28th of March 2026. This is always one of the most memorable moments in the spring term across Kensington and Chelsea Gymnastics Academy. It's a special week of sessions designed to bring our gymnastics community together and celebrate children's progress in a joyful and a structured way. So Easter sessions will take place across all of our 3 venues. So that's Kensington and St. Philip's Church, London, W8. In Chelsea at Park Walk School, London, on the border of SW3 and SW10, and in Knightsbridge at beautiful Morehouse School, that's SW1X. So, for families looking for gymnastics in Kensington, gymnastics in Chelsea, or gymnastics in Knightsbridge, this is one of those lovely points in the year when each venue keeps its own identity while still feeling part of the same wider KCGA community across West London and Central London. Importantly, these sessions will take place during each child's normal time, so families, you don't need to book any extra events, they simply attend as usual. So here at Kensington and Chelsea Gymnastics Academy, Easter week is about far more than performance. It is carefully planned to support physical literacy, confidence, focus, teamwork, and enjoyment of sport, while keeping the sessions structured, safe as usual, and appropriate for each level. And to mark the occasion, every child will receive a personal KCGA digital certificate and a gymnastics medal celebrating effort and progress. So it should be a lovely way to finish this phase of the spring term here at KCGA in London, and we look forward to sharing highlights from this Easter week in our next month's April update. Thank you, as always, for being part of the KCGA community. Whether you are with us in Kensington, Chelsea, Knightsbridge, or just following our work from elsewhere in London, your trust allows us to keep building something steadily, thoughtfully, and genuinely rooted in the neighborhoods we serve. March has been a month of momentum, not rushed, not dramatic, but meaningful. And in children's gymnastics, that kind of momentum is often where the most important progress begins. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next month.